Hey guys, so welcome back to Indirect Knowledge. So I'm Chandra, and today we have a very special tarot card reading for Leny. And Leny just wants to know, and I'm not going to really get into the name here because just to protect people and stuff like that, their privacy and that, but wants to know when this person is going to express interest in them. So Leny, let's find out. Just shuffling the cards really good here before we really get started in the reading. I'm also concentrating on this question about this person, wondering like when they're going to express interest in Leny. All right, let's find out. So I'm just going to go ahead and put these cards out here, and then we can talk about it. All right, so this is very interesting. In the past, you don't see this happen very often in the tarot. At least it's not been my personal experience. But in the past position, we have death, which is all about transformation. It can also mean a literal death, but I'm not really so much picking that up. But I could be wrong. I mean, I just don't really get this card in this position enough to really, have a firm resolve on it per se. This is really a card about change. It's really, where your life is really making a major shift, where you're leaving something behind in order to get new things coming into your life, So it may be like a location. You're leaving one location permanently, dissociating yourself, from it so that you can associate with a new location or something along those lines. Same thing like with relationships, giving up something in order to get something else. Sometimes that's what death is really all about. Kind of when one door opens, another closes, or when one door closes, another opens, kind of the same thing. So in the present situation, we have the Seven of Swords. Now, 7 is usually a pretty spiritual number. Sometimes people think of this as like the thief in the night. This is a guy that just kind of creeps out of the camp with as many swords as he can, for whatever purpose he has in mind. And sometimes people reading tarot kind of tend to lean on this idea that this person is maybe a little bit shady or this, that, and the other. But because of the spiritual dimension on this card, I don't really get that a lot. I think of this person as more of a kind of a loner, kind of a go it alone type person, someone that is, leaving, but it's not that they don't care. It's just that they feel like they have another mission or another idea or something they need to take care of in that. Now with this reading and stuff like that, it's almost like we're just kind of like, leaving some thoughts of things behind us, taking some of our beliefs, some of our mind, some of our thinking and stuff with us, kind of as we move in a different direction, kind of a more solo direction. That's a present moment going on. So we're still wondering about things, but at the same time, we find ourselves still walking in this solo direction. As far as the future goes, and I'm calibrated to about 3 months out, I'm picking up about 4 months with this particular card right here in this particular spread. And it's a Page of Wands. We're talking about 4 months out. Pages are messengers. Wands are about action. So though you may not take a lot of action now, it may be more in your mind, everything going on. In about 4 months from now, give or take a little bit of time, you're going to be more like those thoughts are going to build. They're going to play a major influence on where you're at as far as taking action. This card is all about really taking action and trying to get some things underway, move things forward as far as the relationship and everything goes. Maybe taking a more proactive role. Right now, it's about thinking like, when is so-and-so going to reach out to me? Whereas in about 4 months from now, it's more going to be along the lines of like you trying to really take action to reach out to this person. So let's talk about this this present card right here, the Seven of Swords. Talked a little bit about it. Well, the thing that really kind of the idea magnified in this is this it's the Ace of Swords, so it's something new. It's new ideas, new thoughts. You see the primordial hand there holding the sword, getting rid of conflicts, so that you can ultimately have what you want. So right now this is sort of like paving the way for something new to come into play. That's where you're at right now anyway. As far as your energy goes and all, it's the Queen of Pentacles. Queens are really influencers in the tarot. They're able to get what they want. They don't have to take a direct role in order to get what they want. And normally it's something that's more, and depending on the type of queen it is, it has more of a different influence. In this particular case, excuse me, guys. So in this particular case, it's the Queen of Pentacles. Pentacles are the money card, but it's also about, it's also an earthy kind of card. It's about having prosperity or a sense of abundance, or knowing that that you're okay. Just kind of an inner sense of security, knowing that financially you're okay, materially you're fine, you have what you need, you have the resources at your disposal when you need them, and you're not really worried about too much. And the Queen is she's this influencer. She's saying that in this particular case that the key is being grounded. And she's influencing that groundedness. Pardon me. And so that's actually what this is. It's kind of where you're at. It's sort of like this idea of if my life is in a good situation, if I'm financially okay, if all the stars align, everything works out, then I can be with this person. Then I can have things, kind of the way that I want them. That's kind of like a very structured way of doing things. That's what you get a lot of times with this particular card. But it's a real empowering card too, because it's kind of like your own mind, your own thoughts, and will eventually transfer into action, and that will actually get you what you want. So yeah, it's definitely there. Now let's talk about the outcome. So the outcome card is the Seven of Wands. Now it may look like, as far as the outcome goes, that it's like you're having to fight a lot of people. And though that's not too far from the truth per se, it's really less about fighting a lot of people and more about, taking the high road. You're above them. You're on a higher level. And that gives you an advantage. And this advantage allows you to really handle multiple things in front of you at one time, and really be able to take action in many different directions. So this is really a card of multitasking, if you want to kind of look at it that way. And so the outcome is that you're going to be doing a lot of things. One of those things will just be, one component will be with this person, this getting back in contact and excuse me, guys, and this person expressing interest in that. But what's the key to that? What's the key to getting to a place where you can handle and take on more things? Well, it's this King of Cups. Again, kings are about, we have the cups here. Cups are about relationships. That's what we're talking about here. Kings are about, strong foundation, authority, rules, order. They kind of lay the bedrock of everything that people need to follow. They're the rule givers. And they sign things into law and so on and so forth. So leadership. And also, this is about taking charge of the relationship. So really what's needed in order for this person to express interest in you, what your answer is, or, maybe, even though this isn't necessarily the question you were asking, but to give you kind of like a timeline when this person will express interest in you, it will be as soon as, and I know this is not going to be, exactly probably the way that you wanted it, the answer to be, but it's what I can give you. It's when you start acknowledging this person and taking on more, and And yeah, and just really taking on more things. Sorry guys, I kind of faded out there for just a moment. As a monk, we get up pretty early in the mornings, and today I don't know, I'm a little bit drowsy. It's about 1:33 in the morning, and we have a lot of service to do, and I'm already getting started doing these readings as part of my service work. And so I'm already getting here. I should be focused on what I'm doing. I should give the best readings that I possibly can. That's what I'm commissioned to do here. And that's what I am praying to be able to do. So the key is, in order to get acknowledgement or to get this person to express interest in you, it's all about service on your end. It's about kind of like me being a monk doing this service. The same kind of applies to your situation, Leny. It's about serving this person better and in a way that nobody else can, so that this person has no other reason except to be attached to you or to acknowledge you or to have you in their life. It's sort of like, if you can't get anything better because you have absolutely the best that you can ever get and then some, nobody else is going to compare it to you. And so, the way that you become the best is by serving the most. People are very attracted to that. So if you serve and it's from your heart, and that's kind of your desire, then this thing will materialize for you, and a lot of positive things will start to happen, and this person will acknowledge you. But a big part of that is really, you're going to have to focus your attention in several directions, this being one of them. But one component is service. This person needs you in that regard, needs somebody in their life to love them. And the way that you love people, truly love them, is, they used to say, it's kind of a cliche, but like actions speak louder than words. Well, the actions we're talking about is just service. And service is just, doing things for people for no other reason other than the fact that you love them and you want to do nice things for them. It's not about what they do for you. It's not about what they don't do for you. It's not about any other reason except it's in your heart to do it, and that's the reason you do it. That's the reason to do anything. And so that's kind of that. Guys, if you like this reading, please subscribe to the channel, like the video, of course, and hit the bell notification also if you like. And that way, when we come online, if you have questions or you'd like to ask anything, and you'd like to get a reading or something like that, well, we do these. Oftentimes we have time to do that, and I'll be happy to take questions and so on. But the other dimension to all of this is that, we, if you do things that are not from the heart, there will be resentment. That's just, that's the way that this thing normally happens. And if you're resentful about something, you're less likely to want someone in your life or in your reality. And so you kind of like have a resistance or a pushing away of that person. If you find that is ever the case, you go back to the beginning and you just reinforce what you already know, which is service. Like if you do nice things, if you're genuine and you're really trying to help people and help this person and do for this person, serve this person, and it's in your heart to do it, then you won't feel that resentment. That's really the key to it. So if you feel like resentment whenever something comes into your reality, like someone's asking too much of you or this, that, and the other, then you just feeling like a little pull back, you're like kind of a pushback or a little pull, like maybe, this person again, or, you start to feel a little bit of resentment or a little bit of judgment on that person. The key to overcoming that is to just acknowledge it and say, wow, I'm just not in the right headspace. It's not their fault. It's actually our fault, when we get in a situation like that. And it's just ownership of that and realizing, acknowledging that, hey, wait a minute, I'm not really doing this out of love anymore. I'm doing this maybe out of obligation or for some other reason, and I'm feeling a sense of resentment. And I need to not feel that resentment. And in order not to feel that resentment, I just need to get back to the real intention behind why I'm doing what I'm doing. It's because I want to serve this person and I love this person. So yeah, so that's really that. And I hope that this helps on some level, helps you get what you want. And I do feel a very strong connection between the two of you, these two, Leny and this other person. And I also get a sense, like I'm just picking up, like, I don't know, it's like an old sense or something. Like there's some kind of like an older energy that's kind of surrounding this kind of thing. There's an independent spirit where like two people can be very independent, but yet when they're together and they're getting on nicely, it's like a good, strong energy, like a real strong, committed connection. And I get that it can kind of, this relationship kind of thing can go back and forth. 1 minute's like this, the next minute's like this. It's kind of like a seesaw, or like a, tug of war. Sometimes you're pulling, sometimes you're being pulled. So, I see this as being like a kind of a constant pattern that keeps reoccurring. And if you want that pattern, fine. If you don't want that pattern, you want things to be more kind of stable, or more committed and less back and forth, where you're doing your thing 1 minute, he's doing his thing the next, and back and forth like that. The answer really is this idea, this concept of service. If you focus on this and focus in on this person and serving them and doing what's nice for them, then this person will have no other option except to acknowledge you and to keep you in their life, of course. I mean, why would you not? It just doesn't make sense. And then, as the relationship continues to build, it'll advance. And that's really it. So I hope this helps you. If you have any questions as your tarot coach, I'm always here for you. Please reach out to me. Guys, I'm going to have my email in the description below this video. If you want to connect, always connect. And then also, if you guys want to help, you can do that by helpbydonating.com. Like I said, we're monks, and so we take a vow of poverty and stuff, but we all state vows of doing service and several other vows. And really, it's to help us spread love for God to others. If you want to be a part of that, you can donate however much you want or whatever you want. And, we'll use those resources to help other people. So that's really it, guys. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I apologize that I'm a little bit drowsy today and the yawns and everything, but I'm just kind of getting on with the day, starting my day nicely with some service. And now I've got to go do some praying and some other activities. And so I will see you guys on the next episode of Indirect Knowledge. Learn well, live well, take care of each other. Much love, many blessings.